Kickstarters, we're going to be taking a look at the Thunderbirds Roleplaying expansion today, and I'm starting with the random mission generator. So this basically lets you create an episode of Thunderbirds for your Thunderbirds role-playing game, and we're just going to quickly walk through the deck. So the first thing you're going to do is pick a crisis. There's a deck of crises here, and we're going to see what our first thing is. So we have a transportation equipment failure, a high-speed train, a space plane, a luxury liner, a tunnel, bridge, port, or airport. I'm going to pick a high-speed train as the subject of the adventure. Okay. Now, what we then do is look at the locations. So first of all, we have a basic location table, and then we have a critical location table. So we're going to roll a nice Thunderbirds dice, and we've got a hood, 6. So the basic location is in space, or actually maybe it's a high-speed train on the Martian colony. Sounds like a good idea. And the critical location is a 5. It's underground. It's an underground high-speed train. Well, this is getting harder by the minute. Okay. So the next step is to look at the disposition table. So this is basically where the International Rescue Team, how they set up for the adventure. So we're going to draw a card here. Right. They're engaged. They're involved in another rescue. Thunder machines are in use and are being refitted or repaired. So as the games master, I might decide that maybe Thunderbird 1 or Thunderbird 2 is currently being refitted, and perhaps some of the team are already on another mission. It's a bit like a Bond film. It starts in action. So the next thing that's important is the timing. We have a crisis timing table. So we're going to roll the dice here. We get a 1. It's immediate. There's no time to lose. I've got to leave immediately for Mars. Let's hope it wasn't Thunderbird 3 that was being refitted. But they're not on their own. So there are going to be allies that they can call upon to help them. So we have an allies deck. And let's draw to see who is the potential allies. We have emerging leaders, desperate citizens, vigilantes, civic leaders, and concerned townspeople. I like the idea that maybe there's some rebels on the Martian colony, and they're the potential victims, and also allies. They've got some resources that can help the team. Perhaps it's people, perhaps it's some explosives. Okay. But there are some false friends working against the International Rescue, of course. 2, we have a commercial rival, perhaps the company that runs the Underground Railway. So sounds like a good plot building up here. Then we've got the quality of the assistance. So 3, those allies, the vigilantes, the rebels that we've decided, they're actually unskilled assistants. So probably don't quite know what they're doing with the explosives, and might cause some problems. All right, so you can see it's all building up slowly. Now, who is the opposition? Of course, it's always the Hood, but there are various organisations and people that often get in the way of international rescue and are the protagonists. So let's see who we're going to get. The Hood's minions. Agents working directly for the Hood array themselves against international rescue. So obviously the agents of the Hood on Mars have been tasked with drawing in international rescue, and obviously Thunderbird 3. But what is the antagonist's motivation? Here we go. 5, they want to cause international mayhem. Well, why don't they? So there is perhaps some TV crew on the train, and they want to cause a disaster so that people don't want to move to the new colony. And obviously it's a big international event. Now we move on to subplots, and here we have another deck of cards, and there's always something else going on in the show, right? So what we're going to find out here is what else is going on that's going to complicate the mission. So let's see. A previous friendship. Someone in the international rescue team is longtime friends with a key person in the adventure. So obviously one of the guests on this train, possibly one of the VIP guests, is a friend of the Tracy family, and we have to figure out who is going to be involved. And we then have a card to figure out who in the Tracy family is involved. So it's a friend of John Tracy, okay, which is quite relevant because it involves Thunderbird 3. Maybe that's part of the plot. And we're also looking at who else is involved. We have the subplot involvement team. We get Tracy family. Obviously, we know that John is involved already, so it kind of ties in nicely. And then we have the international rescue team. So who particularly is involved? Now, Tintin also is involved in the rescue team. So this isn't the usual Tracy family, but who else is going to be drawn in to this mission for various reasons? Maybe Tintin has a friend on the train as well. And so we're gradually building up the story now, and of course there's always a complication. So we have a deck of complications that are going to crop up, and what you can do, you can keep coming back to complications. You can always draw another card, of course, and you can draw more allies if you want, more antagonists if you like. So let's draw one of these and see what the complication is. Government interference, bureaucracy and red tape descend upon International Rescue Team at exactly the wrong time. Well, maybe there's some kind of border issue getting to Mars. Maybe there is a customs issue and the government interferes. They don't want Thunderbird 3 just landing anywhere on Mars. So always the wrong people get involved at this point. And it doesn't stop there. We have the drama deck. So we could of course pick another complication. Why not? Let's do that as well. Actually, I'm going to pick another complication. An ailment. An international rescue team member or key person in the mission falls ill and at an inopportune moment. Now we could use the international rescue team table. That was a clue. Maybe Tintin is going to be ill on the trip and have to be looked after, or maybe it's one of the brothers. So again, that's another complication. We could keep drawing them if we want to spice up the adventure. So the drama deck is what kind of what further drama is intensifying the adventure. There's always something that causes more aggravation to the team. So more conflict. So let's see what dramatic tension is going to explode. Permanent loss. A rescue failure would result in the permanent loss of an international rescue team member because of extenuating circumstances. Well, maybe it's Tintin. Maybe she's very ill, and they also have to get her to a hospital on the Martian colony, and maybe that's where the red tape comes in. Maybe they don't have the right permissions. Maybe the hospital isn't open properly yet. But they're going to have to go through a lot of red tape to get her help. Meanwhile, trying to rescue the people on the train, the underground high-speed train. So that, guys, is the role-playing mission deck that lets you create these fantastic Thunderbirds role-playing adventures. So I hope you enjoyed that, and we're going to talk more about the game soon.